We've had each of the fights with the Dark Triad really, I mean, for the most part, concluded. We haven't got to the bulk. Well, we got into the bulk. I would say the finale that is Yami versus Dante. And as we know, Dante hasn't really fought an all out, and as we saw in the last chapter, he went up to 80%, and he was actually starting to bust out some more effort into this. But the thing that it really is noticeable in this last chapter is that Yami reached his limits, and then obviously we saw like he was pushing himself. He was able to condense his mana zone to kind of like develop essentially a new technique that is literally just a. I mean, it's not like it's anything crazy. It was just a hyper enhanced thrust. It was just a very powerful like cannon of force essentially, and Dante like lost essentially his whole torso. Really, actually, I think he lost like his whole like midsection of his body. But when you look at how the panel was, I don't think Dante was really phased. He looked completely fine. So I imagine in this next chapter, he's just going to heal up and then, you know, go about his business at defeating Yami. Because Yami's at essentially at a wall. And Dante just seems like he's still got stuff to pull out. Maybe he doesn't have any techniques above his gravitational singularity, but he doesn't really need to, because we've already seen that it's powerful enough that it can drastically hurt Yami. Obviously, you know, mini black hole hacks. I mean, both of them have that, but Yami seems to be more for absorbing magic, whereas Dante's is more for straight offensive capabilities. But I'm actually very curious of what would happen if you threw those two into each other. I imagine they would just kind of cancel each other out, and there'd just probably just be like some big shock wave that would, you know, blow up the area or something. But yeah, Dante, I think next chapter Dante's going to heal up. We know his magic. We don't know the official name, but we know that it can like mess with his body, that he can essentially heal himself. So I know a lot of people, like I called it a while ago, and I think a lot of people have gotten on board with it being like a flesh magic or like DNA magic, cell magic, something to do with the body that he's able to, you know, reconstruct essentially like areas that have been damaged. So it won't surprise me if he can just heal up and then fix himself, put him back to normal. Because each of the Dark Triad has been centered around something different in style. With Xenon, like obviously enhanced bones, like he's gonna have higher durability, as well as like he's just overwhelming in terms of like how his like bone attacks work. Vonica as a blood mage, like a blood wizard, I think hers makes more sense to take the damage, bleed, and then, you know, have more blood for different abilities. And then for Dante, and then obviously like her thing just seems to be like straight relentless attack, kind of just all around berserker style, take damage, doesn't even matter for her going in. And then Dante, I just see Dante like, obviously if you have somebody who's more durable, one who's taking damage is good for them, and then for him I think it's regeneration, and as well as we've already seen it to a degree. We don't know how high though he can regenerate. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he can regenerate anything as long as his head is intact. Like the only person we've seen with like that high of regeneration really is I mean, to a degree, Vito. I mean, Vito like lost his arm and it just instantly regenerated. And then Fauna, like Elf Fauna, could just straight like Phoenix regrow like her head. And she's the only person we've seen with like regeneration that high. But I think Dante, if Dante's is, you know, at his level that he is, if he's able to heal himself from this, I'd be completely fine with it. The only way I could see him healing if he lost his head, if it had like some interference with Lucifero, but I'm not too sure. I feel like losing his head, like if you completely destroyed his head, would be the logical way to defeat him, and maybe like the weakness around like his ability. But I can completely see it possible if he has like this, you know, if it is flesh magic, if he's able to like mess with his own body using magic and then reconstruct it, that rebuilding a torso and stuff should be completely within his range, considering the level of character that he is, because he's not just some random guy. He's obviously like, you know, Dark Triad. He's very powerful. He's clearly above captain level. I mean, even when we saw Xenon completely run through Dante, or from William, I almost said Dante, completely run through William, and obviously Yami is stronger than William, but William is still a captain, so he's still pretty impressive in reality when you think about it. So Xenon, who I think everybody can just assume, at least until otherwise stated, that William, or that, see, I'm messing up names, that Dante is the strongest out of the Dark Triad. Maybe it's Xenon, maybe it's Vonica. But I think right now, unless they straight say, oh no, this one's actually the strongest, that it's easiest just to go with Dante, considering Dante is clearly the leader. And he's going to be the main focus, considering he's grouped up with Asta and Yami. So it just makes sense to me, by default, to go with him as the strongest. But really, I can just see next chapter him healing up and just running through Yami. I don't really know what Yami's gonna do. I mean, obviously Yami's not gonna die. I would hope that he doesn't do anything that would, like, I know he said he was thinking about taking a leg from him. I can see Yami losing an arm. I can't see Yami losing a leg. The only way I can see Yami losing a leg is if there's a setup for it to get healed. I don't think, like, if he was going to permanently lose a body part, I could see an arm, but that's it. And if Tabata did that, I don't know if he will. I'm only saying that because we know that Dante already stated, like, oh, I'll take a leg from you, or a leg or two. So if he stayed with that, maybe he won't, because he'll be like, no, I got to keep him in shape for, my plan and stuff. Other than that, though, I just see Dante going all out, really seeing what Dante is capable of, and just Yami, I see him running out of juice in the next chapter. And like, if he sees like the dude heal up, the only way I can see Yami not being taken after this chapter is if other captains show up. If a bunch of other characters show up to help, to where obviously, like, okay, yeah, Dante can get outnumbered. Like, I think Dante can run through any of the captains just fine, but I don't think that he can beat all the captains at once. And if you had, like, Nozel, Fuego Leon, Marileona, all these characters show up, I don't think Dante is capable of beating all of them at the same time. Maybe if he was at 100%, but at 80, I don't, at least as of right now, maybe he'll get more powerful as the arc goes on, and, like, messes with the border between the human realm and the demon realm or something, and maybe he just becomes more powerful from that connection. But as of right now, I don't think he can take on, if Nozel and Fuego Leon showed up, I don't think he could take Yami, Fuego Leon, and Nozel at the same time. At all. I don't think that. And they could logically show up considering they're still in the Clover Kingdom. It's not like, over in the heart where, they're a whole country away. But anyway, comment below. Tell me your thoughts are about this. I'm really looking forward to just seeing, like, the one thing that I will always say that's true anytime I look at spoilers, and as well as just, like, when stuff is hinted, I always want to know what the character's power is called. I really want I just want to see the official name of Dante saying, like, flush magic something. Like, anytime a chapter, like a spoiler, I like it spoilers, and there's a new spell stated, I want to know what it's called. I want to know so bad. I don't know. Just know that if spoilers come out and you look at it and you see, like, Dante's spell get named, you know that I just really want to see, like, somebody, like, say, like, oh yeah, it's called this, and oh, thank God. Anyway, that's just what I'm hoping for. I just want to know the name. I just want to know the official name of it. But anyway, other than that, comment below. Thumbs up the video from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.